Hare Krishna. Welcome to our channel. Bhagavad-gita, here it is. Because we have it. Bhagavad-gita as it is, translation and commentary by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, and my name is Bhagavad-gita. This is the last verse today of the 20th chapter. No, the verse is 20, the chapter is 12. Devotional service. And let's get to it.
Shri Guru Shri Juta Padakamalang.
So, Krishna has spoken about the qualities of his devotees and who is very dear to him. And today this is the last text in that list. And I start with the Sanskrit. Ye tu dharmamritam idang yathoktang paryupasate shraddhanamat parama bhaktaste tivame priyaha. Those who follow this imperishable path of devotional service and who completely engage themselves with faith, making me the supreme goal, are very, very dear to me. Krishna says. Dharma Amrita. Amrita is translated as nectar, but here it's called the imperishable path of devotion because Amrit also means without death, so it's eternal, it doesn't go away. Purport. In this chapter, from verse 2 through the end, from Maya Veshyamano Yemam, fixing the mind on me, through Ye tu Dharma Amritam Idam, this religion of eternal engagement, the Supreme Lord has explained the processes of transcendental service for approaching him. Such processes are very dear to the Lord, and he accepts a person engaged in them. The question of who is better, one who is engaged in the path of impersonal Brahman, or one who is engaged in the personal service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, was raised by Arjuna, and the Lord replied to him so explicitly that there is no doubt that the devotional service of the personality of Godhead is the best of all processes of spiritual realization. In other words, in this chapter it is decided that through good association one develops attachment for pure devotional service and thereby accepts a bona fide spiritual master, and from him begins to hear and chant and observe the regulative principles of devotional service with faith, attachment and devotion, and thus becomes engaged in the transcendental service of the Lord. This path is recommended in this chapter. Yes. I think this is maybe one of the verses that is good to learn by heart if one is so inclined. Yeah, that was the question. Who is better? One who is engaged in the path of impersonal Brahman and one who is engaged in personal service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So we don't like those kind of questions, who is better, who is worse, because very often there's a value judgment in it. Here it's a little different, because here we are speaking about the path of self-realization, the path of perfection, the path out of this material world, and a sincere seeker of the truth who is prepared to dedicate his or her life in the pursuit of self-realization and God-realization. This is such a serious undertaking, you say like that. You take up that task, you don't want to waste your time. You don't want to be sold a bridge. You want to know this is actually the truth. And Krishna is answering very clearly. He's not in doubt. He knows these things. He's saying, yes, we have these yogic processes. Yes, you can achieve some level of realization and some level of, advancement in this world as well. But when we're asking about this, if we look at this world and we realize there is a TV, I think series or movie, I haven't seen it, about a young boy who is born inside a reality show. He doesn't know that. He thinks it's reality. Everybody else knows it. And when he realizes that this is just an illusion and you can step out of it into the real world, that is such a crazy situation. So we're a little bit like that. The only difference is that nobody knows about it. We're all born in this illusion. And then we come to the kind of intuition that there needs to be something else. And then we somehow or another get in touch with Bhagavad-gita. Or as Arjuna, he was speaking to Krishna directly. And he's not shy. And Krishna is also not shy of saying, oh, you know, everything is fine and you can do whatever you like. Because that is already an established fact. We can do whatever we like. We can stay in this material world lifetime after lifetime and try to do whatever we like. And whatever we do, we will reap the karma from it in this life or the next. And all this karma will build up and continue to drag us all around the universe. And we will want to do that until we come to the point where we realize the futility in it. Somehow or another, we have come to that point where life is also good, right? You know, we can grow fresh vegetables in the summer. We can have good friends and family. There is also many things that we like. Those things are still there in devotional service. And the main difference is we are no longer just getting one body after another, having a lots of desires that are pulling us here and there, receiving all kinds of reactions, identifying this body as it grows older and dies over and over again. This, we didn't sign up for this. Yes, we did. We did sign up for this. But if you want to sign out again, Arjuna is asking a pertinent question. Which is best? And Krishna says, without a doubt, devotional service, one who follows this imperishable path of devotional service, dharmamritam. Dharma, it's like a process or religion or your true nature, and amritam is both nectar and it's also immortal. So devotional service is not part of the reality show. It's not, something you get it in this life and the next time you lose it. It is part of our spiritual core. It's something that comes with us. So it's something very real. Bhaktas te tiva me priya. They, bhakta, those devotees, are ativa, very, very dear to me. So, therefore, we want to get over our, we get over being uncomfortable with a statement like this. What is better? This is definitely better. It's just like, whenever we are not speaking about, culture or our taste or, I like blues, but I like jazz. You can't say that one is better. Or whoever likes it will say, oh, this is definitely better. It's just music. It's enjoyable. Live with it. But when it comes to something important, your nourishment, which is better, drinking milk or drinking Coca-Cola? Coca-Cola has absolutely no nutrients whatsoever. When it comes to putting, I don't remember what you call it. You tank up your car. We call it petrol. Or if you have a diesel engine, you can't put petrol in the diesel engine. It's not a question of choice. This works and this doesn't work. So when it comes to self-realization, all the yoga processes will take us a bit on the way. They will not take us to the ultimate goal. And Krishna says that, and if you're interested in that ultimate goal, I spent the whole Bhagavad-gita being very, balanced, because we are balanced. We want to be balanced. We want to be realistic. We want to be respectful. But when you come to the point of realizing, I have this human form of life in this lifetime, and right now I know I can make a difference. I can take up spiritual realization. So which way is the best? And Krishna says, this is the best. This is definitely the best. Because Satya Bhakta is very, very dear to me. Then we will have to control our impulse to feel offended or to feel that we need to go in and balance it out because everything is fine. Yeah, but it's not fine to put petrol in your diesel engine. That's not going to work. And if you want to do spiritual realization, yes, you can lift your consciousness by performing the impersonal method, but you cannot come to the full realization of your individuality in relationship to the Supreme Lord. And it's also quite possible that you will get some that it will create some obstacles. This path is recommended in this chapter. Therefore, there is no doubt that devotional service is the only path for self-realization, for the attainment of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The impersonal conception of the Supreme Absolute Truth, as described in this chapter, is recommended only up to the time one surrenders himself for self-realization. In other words, as long as one does not have the chance to associate with a pure devotee, the impersonal conception may be beneficial. In the impersonal conception of the Absolute Truth, one works without fruitive result, meditates and cultivates knowledge to understand spirit and matter. This is necessary as long as one is not in the association of a pure devotee. Fortunately, if one develops directly a desire to engage in Krishna consciousness in pure devotional service, he does not need to undergo step-by-step improvements in spiritual realization. Devotional service, as described in the middle 6 chapters of Bhagavad-gita, is more congenial. One need not bother about materials to keep body and soul together, because by the grace of the Lord, everything is carried out automatically. So yes, that's also a very important point. We're in this world, and we have been here for a long time. And when we hear these kind of things, just surrender to Krishna. Just give everything else up and just surrender to Krishna. It seems to be a little, not completely responsible way to deal with life, because we know all the things we need. We need to eat, we need a home, we need all these things. And what if we just surrender to Krishna? Also, Arjuna brought that up earlier, and he said a person who, gives up his material responsibilities to take the spiritual life, and what if he fails? Then he gave up the material responsibilities and he failed in the spiritual responsibilities. Is he lost then? And Krishna says no, because when you do the good thing, that is always there, and Krishna will hold us. So here also, when we take up devotional service, we start to take shelter of Krishna's spiritual internal energy. In this material world, everything is run under Krishna's external material energy, and that energy, it is not mechanical because it's also personal. It's an energy that comes from Krishna, but activities under that energy are kind of mechanical. Your activities will get the result that those activities deserve. It's just like if you go to work and you perform a certain job, you will get paid, whatever wages you were agreeing on when you started. You will not get less and you will not get more. But when you're a child and your parents are taking care of you, they will give you everything you need. And sometimes they will withhold something in order to maybe train you up when you need that. Sometimes they will give you something extra. It will not be an exact reciprocation. It will not be the payment or the result of your actions. It will be a relationship of love. So when a devotee, or when a spirit soul rather, enters into devotional service to take that shelter, to take shelter of Krishna's internal energy, and to turn your life around to Krishna's service, then Krishna reciprocates not as an employer, but as a loving parent. And yes, it used to be that we moved into the temple, we gave up everything, and we had a couple of saris or a couple of dhotis, depending on. We did our service, we got our food, whatever we needed, not more, not less. And now we have so many devotees. We don't live in the temple always. We have our own work, we have our own income. So does this still apply? Yes, of course it still applies. We may have to work in a slightly different structure, and of course that's not what Krishna says to Arjuna. He says to Arjuna, you're a kshatriya, go out and fight, that is your job, that is your duty. That is not the point. The point is the consciousness, the motivation, the reasons why we are doing what we are doing. So we're doing everything in Krishna's service, and if we have to take care of our family, apply ourselves to our workplace or our school, that's fine. That is not an impediment, but that is not our ultimate shelter. Our ultimate shelter is Krishna, and that is a shelter we can achieve by surrendering to him in devotional service. So by the grace of the Lord, everything is carried out automatically. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purports to the 12th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavad-gita in the matter of devotional service. So that's this chapter. So next time we will start a new chapter, Nature, the Enjoyer and Consciousness. That's chapter 13. So thank you so much. See you there. Hare Krishna.
Thank you for watching. We aim for updates every Tuesday and Friday. Please come back. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down there. We also have some links and information for you. And there is, of course, the subscribe button. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
I'm a Hare Krishna, and I approve this message. Subscribe.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama.